Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Tim Hart, branch manager of VanDyk Mortgage here in Fort Myers, Florida. Welcome to an episode of the Heartbeat for Realtors podcast. Today, I got a very famous guy within VanDyk Mortgage. 2 years in a row, he has spoke at our event. Two, right, Steve? Two?
I got to correct you there. It has now been, well, it's 2 in a row. I had a year off because I couldn't get there, but this was my third presentation.
So the one I think you came to, I think I missed. Long story, but so I saw 2 of them, dude, and you kill it every time. You were cool enough to come on today and talk to the realtors I know, all right? And we're going to cover a topic. The first one's going to be, we're going to do is about apps, okay? Super cool apps that realtors can use to grow their business. So Steve Richman, the MI guy from Genworth, and some realtors may not know, it's mortgage insurance, right? That's the company.
That's who we are, Genworth Mortgage Insurance. I'm that MI guy, and let's talk apps. Shall we do that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's do it, Steve. So we're here in Southwest Florida. This is for realtors, and you've got some cool apps for them to help grow their business. And by the way, before we get into this, I got to tell you, dude, the 2 times I've seen you, crushed it. Not putting the pressure on you here, okay? But you do a great job, man. So kudos to you and Genworth. So excellent work.
Much appreciated. And what we know is everybody's using this today. This has changed more than anything else in our business. It's all about the phone. Even before I jump into the apps, let me just talk about your phone for 1 second. You might not know this. You might not know this, Tim. I think I said this actually at your meeting. I don't know if the real estate agents that are listening know this, but about 6 weeks ago, your phone got updated. And when the phone got updated, there's a little part of that iOS system that asks a question. And the question says, hey, if a phone number, because you and I, we're all getting all these phone calls every day that are spam, scam, solicitation. I'm so tired of it. You're tired of it. Everybody's tired of it. So iOS came out and they said, this is what we're going to do. If a phone number comes in and you don't have that in your contact list, it'll go directly to voicemail. Do you want to do that? Now, if I'm a mortgage professional, if I'm a real estate professional, I'm just trying to contact my customer and I'm not in their contact list, guess what happens? They never see my number come up. It doesn't appear. So the first thing that I tell real estate agents all the time is before you hang up the phone with that customer, say, hey, are you on a smartphone? Are you on a smartphone? 2, yes. Look at my name. There's going to be an I next to it with a circle around it. And what I want you to do is click on that circle with the I and add me to your contact list. Because if you don't add me to your contact list, I'm going to go straight to voicemail, and then we're not going to be able to have this conversation that we need. So when we talk about leveraging apps, leveraging systems, making your phone work better for you, I mean, I have this story. I was in Michigan the other day, and my boss's boss's boss called me, and it went straight to voicemail, and I called him right back because I found out I saw who it was. And when I saw the voicemail, and he goes, what's the matter? Am I not in your contact list? And I said, you are now, buddy. Because, hey, my boss's boss's boss doesn't call me all that often. So that's what we're talking about right there.
That's good advice, man. My phone's I've been seeing it come up as potential spam, when people call, and I don't answer it now. If it tells me it's spam, I usually know it's some social security number person telling me, my world's going to get ended here in 5 minutes. So I don't answer it, but that's neat. We'll keep an eye on that. Good advice.
Yeah, it's just a way to have that deeper connection so they know. And when it's the real estate agent calling, guess what? You better pick up because they have something important to say. So if we know who it is that's calling, we're much more likely to pick up.
Makes sense.
And as we use that phone, as we look at the apps from the real estate agent's perspective, there's a couple apps that not only that the agent can use themselves, but they can put on their customer's phone, which can really help them. So, Tim, have you ever heard of the app or used the app Around Me?
No, I have not.
Okay, so Around Me is really cool. Here's how most people use it. They put it on their own phone, and I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. So I come to visit you, my friend, and where do we go? You say, hey, let's go to lunch, and I don't know where I am. So I click on my Around Me app, and it will say, here are the restaurants that are around you, and this is where you should go to lunch. Fantastic, no problem. What I love is for somebody who's looking to buy a home, they can stand in the potential home that they're thinking about buying, and by the click of a button, Around Me, they can say within a 3-mile radius, tell me every restaurant, every gas station, every school, every bowling alley, every basketball court, every library. whatever they want to look up. So instead of having to drive through the neighborhood and see what's around and see what's there, they can do it with a click of a button. Just like that, they'll know within the entire radius what that neighborhood looks like and what types of businesses are there. So I think that's a really neat tool, not necessarily for the real estate agent to have on their phone, but to show their customer, the potential buyer, what app they should put on their phone, the customer's phone, to help them make the right buying decision.
Yeah, well, that's cool to do when you think about it with their customers is, when we're talking about realtors, we're also talking about their buyers as well. Instead of doing, Googling restaurants near me, this app has it all. I feel like this is already going to be more of a podcast for me. I got to be honest, than it will be for the realtors. I'll be stealing all these ideas and it's for them.
Well, and I love that, because the way I look at it, if you steal it for you, that means that a regular person, not calling you regular because we know you're not, but a regular person would use that app. Well, if the real estate agent says, hey, I would use the app, and the mortgage professional says, hey, I would use the app, then the customer would use the app as well. Yep. So it's really not just an app for one person. They tend to be apps that can cut across all the different folks that are looking in the real estate mortgage process.
Yep.
Another one, and once again, this is going to be great for a mortgage professional, great for a real estate professional, and for somebody who's looking to be a home buyer or a home seller on this one. I really like something called Magic Plan, MAGIC, like, abracadabra kind of thing, Magic Plan, PLAN. What are we looking at Magic Plan? Magic Plan lets you take your phone in your hand and you just turn around and it will tell you the dimensions of the room you're standing in. It sends out that signal so it figures out what the dimension of the room is. So you're sitting here saying, wow, this is a really nice living room. I wonder what the dimensions are. Within seconds, you just turn around, click on that button, and what happens? It tells you the dimensions of the room.
Wow.
Wow. I'm like Ronco, and there's more. Okay. So not only is it going to give,
there's more.
But wait, there's more. Not only is it going to just tell you what the dimensions of the room is, but now when you get multiple rooms, you can link them together to create what the floor plan would look like. So they can walk away, the customer, the consumer, the buyer can walk away with an actual floor plan, or the seller can set up a floor plan so they can show the potential customer, consumer, buyer what the floor plan looks like. There's more. It comes in 3D now. So they made that change about a year ago, I guess. So now it's all coming out at 3D. So now you can go to wayfair.com. You can download a what? You can download a coffee table, put it in the middle of the room and see what that coffee table is going to look like if that looks good in that room. And what happens when you buy a house? You don't want to, it's really funny. I'm looking at your picture. You're looking at my picture, and we both have our families sitting behind us in their pictures that are sitting right there. Yeah. We have to have the families, make sure that people know that we're good family people. But as we do that and we try and figure it out.
I got kids.
Got kids, and hey, got a wife, so lucky enough to get that. So I got to give her props too. So when we try and figure out, okay, I just bought this house, but I want to make this house mine because I took all those pictures off the wall. I'm going to have to repaint this room. It will actually tell you how many gallons of paint it takes to paint that room. You don't even need walls.
That's all on the Magic Plan app.
That's on Magic. You don't even need walls. If you have a deck, I know in Florida, most places, people have decks on their homes. You don't need walls. You can just scan the deck and it will tell you what the size of the deck is and how many gallons of sealant it's going to take to make that water protected on that deck.
Dang. All right.
And last I checked, but I always have to say this when I talk about apps. And I will only talk about apps that I have personally used. Some people say, will you talk about this app? If I don't talk about it, I may or may not have tried it. I'm never going to look at an app and say, don't use this. I don't believe in doing that. But I've tried all these apps. Apps change over time. The two I just told you, last I used them, they were free. Could they start charging tomorrow? Sure they could. Could they make changes tomorrow? Sure they could. But those are two that I like to really use. There's another one. We just said Magic Plan. I like something in Florida called Plant Snap. I think this is really cool. When I look at Plant Snap, I just found this one because in Florida, my parents live in Florida. They live in Boca, go figure. We're like a Seinfeld episode waiting to happen. But, my parents are always downstairs in their garden. They're always trying to figure out, oh, what's this plant? What's that plant? Is this going to attract the good stuff? Is this going to attract the bad stuff? Is it a weed? There's something called Plant Snap. Love Plant Snap. You just take a picture of the leaf of the plant that's sitting there, and it will tell you, is it a weed? Is it a good plant? Is it a bad plant? How should it be cared for? Because there's botanists and horticulturalists that are looking at that site, and they will answer those questions for you. So when you're buying this home,
go ahead, sorry.
No, so when you're buying this home, looking at this home, boom, you'll know all the foliage that's sitting right around there and what you should keep and what you should get rid of.
So you take a picture of this plant, and how long, so then you got to wait for these botanists or whatever to reply back to you, or is it pretty instant?
How do I say this? I don't know any botanists, but maybe they don't have a very fulfilling life and they really like their computers and their apps. So they sort of have it set up so that, oh, a new one came in. It doesn't get used that much from what I've noticed. So I've gotten answers very quickly back. Like they say, oh, I'm interested in this site. I want to make people understand more about plants and horticulture and botany. So boom, I have it set up. It dings on my phone and they give you an answer relatively quickly. I haven't had to wait any more than 3 or 4 minutes to have that answer come right back to me.
Wow, all right.
Like I said,
that's cool.
Might be longer for you. Maybe things have changed. Maybe that I just may have insulted a botanist, which I did not mean to do. I was just saying they're probably pretty into the technology. That's where they are, but it's a great way to do that. And that is once again called Plant Snap.
Okay.
Which sort of leads me into something called Home Snap. Home Snap, I like because Home Snap allows you with the click of a button, like you just walk up to a house, you're like, that's a really interesting looking house. I think I like to buy that house. Boom. Or it's a house that says for sale. There's a sign there. You can click on a button. Home Snap says, I know where you're standing because I have my GPS locator in my phone. And as soon as you take a picture of that house, it immediately will tell you what year that house was built, what the square footage is, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, when it last sold, how much it last sold for, and it will tell you what schools it goes to. So now, oh, it goes to JFK Elementary School. So all of a sudden, you know everything about that house just by one click of a button on your phone. Really powerful app. And the next step to the Home Snap that I totally like, and this is a new addition to what they just did, they've now added where you can, with your phone, walk the boundary of that house. Now, don't do that till you get permission to be on the property, okay? But it allows you to walk around instead of saying, oh, well, that house is, it sits on 1/3 of an acre. Well, I don't know how far back it goes, how far up it goes, to the left, to the right. You can walk the boundaries. I wouldn't build a fence based upon what those boundaries say, but it's going to give you a pretty good proximity to where the property begins and where that property ends.
Huh, that's neat. Like your own survey.
Yeah, like it's like getting your, like I said, don't look at it and say, okay, it's absolutely going to be perfect and have those numbers.
Yeah,
there.
the app won't hold up in court when you build your pool in someone else's backyard. Is that what you're saying?
Thank you for saying that, because we don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Right.
Another app that I'm really liking right now, it's called Postagram. Post, Postagram. Postagram. I don't know about you. Well, I do know about you. You're on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook. If you look on Facebook, everything's what? It's all pictures these days. It's all video these days. People just don't like to read. That's why I really like Postagram. Postagram, instead of sending out just a handwritten thank you note that's nothing but words, Postagram allows either you or the real estate agent, whoever it is, to do what? They take a picture. You got a husband and wife, and they're sitting there at the settlement table. They're all happy. Oh my gosh, they hug. Take a picture. They high five each other. Take a picture. You go to you help them. You're right there. It's moving day. You take a picture of the house the day that they're moving in. Whatever it is, you take that picture. You submit the picture to Postagram. It prints the picture in color on a postcard. It says, what do you want to write on the back of the postcard? Congratulations on your new home. We're so happy for you. Boom. And it sends it to them real mail. If I get a picture, just Tim, we already said it. You got pictures of your family behind you. I have pictures of my family behind me. I get a picture. I hold on to a picture a whole lot longer than I'm going to hold on to a handwritten thank you note. So when you look at that, this is a way not only to thank our customers, but to continue to be in front of them through our marketing by sending them a picture with a message attached to it, which allows you to be remembered that much better by your customer.
Yeah, you mentioned that one, dude. And that one, it means a lot to me because you know Brian Lovell, our sales manager. A like once a year after the fly-in, he always sends me, and it's so thoughtful and cool. Like, it's a card though. It's not a postcard, but it's a card, has a picture of me from the fly-in, whatever, speaking or doing something. And then inside I know he doesn't handwrite it. I know it's some kind of program, but it's very, you can tell he wrote it, and it's very thoughtful, man. And it always, it hits home a lot more than just a blank thank you, whatever. It's that extra step. I love that idea.
And when I said just, hey, real estate agents can use it at their settlement just to have a thank you note, I love the idea, similar to what Brian's doing, of let's say you're a real estate agent and you deal with a title company, and that title company is doing a Habitat for Humanity, and you attend the Habitat for Humanity. If you do any charity event or community event and you take a picture of that event and you send it to people, that's even that much more effective, because now you're touching them on that community, on that charity level.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Yep.
I like it. Postagram. Got it.
Postagram. And I know we've been talking about a couple of apps, but this one is really not for the consumer. This one really is for the real estate agent. It's also for you, any business person. People go crazy trying to remember people's names. It is a hard thing to do. We're like, I've met so many people. I have all these business cards. How do I know who is who? There's an app out there that's called Nameshark. It is so cool and so easy to use. Nameshark. You all in Florida should be very familiar with anything that it says shark, because you're sitting right there on the ocean. What's Nameshark? Nameshark has this. It says just get somebody's picture on your phone, put their name next to it, and it plays games with you. Like, remember when you used to play concentration, like what's this, and you have to sit there and flip the tiles? Same thing. It goes, here's a picture, what's the name? Here's a picture, what's the name? So until you memorize everybody's name, it's a fun game to play to try and say, okay, let me match that name with that picture. Now, you're going, but I can't just walk up to people and start taking their picture. That's how you get arrested. No, that's not what I'm saying you should do. But everybody's on Facebook. Everybody's on LinkedIn. You just go in and you find the person, and you can import that picture from anywhere on the internet, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever. And all of a sudden you have their picture, you put their name next to it, and that's going to help you better understand and memorize that person's name. So the next time you see them, boom, it's going to be right there for you.
Dude, all right. I can use that help, man, because you know how it is. You go into an office with 100 agents, and I can barely remember what I did 5 minutes ago, and so it's hard to remember everyone's name, right? And thank God for name tags most of the time,
Well, and you just said you go into an agent's office. The beauty is you can set it up with folders. So you can say, okay, this is the office at 123 Main Street, and here's the 10 people that work there. And then you can set up another folder that says 234 Oak Street. And now you have different people that work there. So before you're going in anywhere, you'd be able to click on that and see exactly who's going to be in that office. And the beauty is, let's just say I work with you, but I'm no longer going to call on 123 Main Street. I can take the folder off of my phone and give it to you. So now you have it on your phone. You don't even have to create your own folder.
Oh, like shareable almost?
Yep, totally shareable.
Gotcha.
Great way to do it.
Nice.
Another app that I throw out there a lot, and this one, people go, oh my gosh, no way. We already talked about that wonderful app, Magic Plan, and it will tell you how many gallons of paint it takes to paint that room.
Right.
The question then becomes, well, what color should I paint the room? Go down to the Home Depot, they got 87, well, I was going to say 87 shades of gray. I guess I should go with another color there. But you go to the Home Depot and it says, here's 87 shades of blue, right? So what color blue should we use? Well, there's an app out there. It's called Paint Tester. Paint, P-A-I-N-T, Tester, T-E-S-T-E-R. When you get Paint Tester, all you do is you take a picture of the room, and then you take a picture of the paint chip or the paint sample. And then on your phone, it will repaint that room that color so you know what it's going to look like. Instead of trying to just look at that little, one by one paint chip and try and guess, well, that's going to look good in this entire room. Boom, it repaints the room, not for you. You're still going to have to paint the room, but electronically it paints the room for you so you see what it's going to look like.
That would not be a free app if it painted your entire room for you.
No, that would not be a free app if it painted your entire room. If that was, I'd be buying that app and doing it right now and not talking to you all because my house needs paint.
Yeah, but that's pretty neat though, because like the only other way you can do it is, with the paint swatches or buying small amounts of each color and, putting them on your wall and whatever else. Paint tester.
Yep.
Got it. I like
Test
it.
it
Steve,
right there for you.
You got any more or are we good?
Nope, I think we're good right there. I think that gives everybody a sampling and a taste of some fun apps that they can use for their customer, for themselves, to help them grow their business and better communicate and see what's going on that's out there.
Yeah, no doubt. And, just in our business, like your business, anything they can do value added back to their customer, is going to mean the world to them and get them repeat business. So, Steve, I appreciate you, man. Where, in case anyone needs to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to contact you? The MI guy at Genworth Mortgage Insurance. How can they contact you?
Well, one, I'm always on Facebook, that MI guy, ThatMIGUY, that MI guy on Facebook. I'm always there looking to communicate with people, anything you need. Or it's steve.richman, Richman. Richman, it's the goal that we're all looking for. steve.richman@genworth.com. Feel free to email me and I'd be happy to have the conversation with you. The last thing is, you need more information, you can always go to MI, mortgage insurance, mi.genworth, GENWORTH.com, mi.genworth.com, and that's our website.
Cool. And so, guys, realtors out there, one thing that Steve at Genworth Mortgage Insurance, what they do is mortgage insurance. What that means is some of your borrowers out there don't know that they do not have to do 20% down on every single purchase, 3% down. We have mortgages for that. So if you have any buyers out there that have a low down payment, they don't think they have to have 20% down, they are incorrect. Call me up. Let me know. We have products for them. Call me 239-437-4278. Get them a low down payment option into that house. Right, Steve?
I appreciate you having me. And if you have any questions on MI, you're the guy to talk to.
Thanks, man. You guys, don't forget, subscribe. We got more episodes coming up. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.